What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the weekly candle close stream. You guys might hear I'm a bit under the weather again. Like, this cold is getting to us, and I had my sister was a bit sick, so she kind of sent it over to me too. So I'm just trying to sip my tea and do this live in one way or another. Sick. It's sick. Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. I hope everybody has had a good weekend. Bitcoin seems to be doing what we've already spoken about. Like, not much has changed, but we'll go through all the new development, if there's any. We'll have a look at it together and so on. While I sip my tea, just go ahead and smash that like, guys. Smash that hit and turn on the notifications for those of you replaying the video, so you won't be the last to show it, because some things we talk about is time sensitive, as you guys maybe noticed. Anyways, so weekly candle closed like 8 minutes ago. Look, this is what's going on with Bitcoin, okay? Volatility, like, is right around the corner. We did close the prior weekly candle with a doji, so we have some indecision going on, bulls and bears fighting and so on. But it doesn't mean like the battle is over when it comes to the bulls just because we're seeing a doji. It's nothing that worrying yet. I mean, like I said last time in the short Bitcoin TA video, that I made 2-3 days ago. You see, we had this nice, ascending triangle, right? Let me just do this. And I did tell you guys, like, something like this could happen, that we wick below it, like, break out of this resistance line and so on. But that it was very important on a daily that we just, wick down to this support and then pull back up, because if this support, old support line, starts acting as resistance, and let's say we get rejected, like we come back down and we get rejected around these levels, that's not gonna be a good look, okay? We had a little pull up today, like all the way to $17,267, but it got rejected, okay? I do not like this formation right here, but at the same time, I was expecting something like this to kind of happen. We touched this resistance again, and I did tell you guys that if we can't break above at least 17,316, it would be difficult, to see some continuation, like rise to the upside, and that the bad divergence that we were seeing would develop. And that's what kind of happened, as if you guys noticed, because when I made the video, I think the last video, the short video that was like, I think 5 minutes long, we were around these levels we wicked up to this. Like, I can just extend this so you guys can see what I mean. Settings, extend. Like, we literally came and touched the top of the parallel channel, okay? And now we broke out of it, and looks like we broke out of this one too. So yeah, it doesn't mean the fight is over for the bulls yet. I always say after the weekly close, it's good to give it 24 to 48 hours and just see, let it mature a bit, okay? Gonna have a sip of my tea, guys. Again, just hold on. So weekly, we still have, positive momentum on the histogram, and MACD is still bullish. RSI literally the same. Not much has changed when it comes to the RSI since the last time we spoke about it on the weekly. But daily, guys, daily, we still didn't come to the targets we were, talking about when it comes to 17,560 to, let's just say $17,600 to $17,700-ish dollars, okay, around these levels. We still sure we came all the way to 17,428, kind of close, but didn't get all the way up there. There's still resistance around these levels as well. We are seeing the volatility happen, like volatility come in right now. Looks like it. I did explain to you guys in short what the Bollinger Band can show you and so on. If you guys go ahead and have the Bollinger Band on, for example, now you will see that it's kind of indicating that volatility was coming as well. Sorry guys, I have to drink at the same time, so apologies. But I don't like this formation, but kind of expected. I did talk about it when I told you guys that we can, even though this is a triangle that benefits the bulls, if anything. The fact that we couldn't, break above these levels. Sure, we came up all the way here, but the fact that we couldn't break above it immediately kind of was a bit troublesome for Bitcoin. But now let's see. This is the important thing. Will we wick down to these levels? I mean support, and then will this like support hold and we get back, to these levels of $17,000, $17,100. If that happens, Bitcoin is still cool. I mean, it might be having this sideways action, but then we might eventually come and test 17,600-ish to 17,700-ish areas, okay? So it's gonna be important to see what happens here. Let's have a look at the 4-hourly as well. So on the 4-hourly, MACD is bearish, guys. Negative momentum going on. RSI back below neutral. Look, it's not looking the best right now. It's not. I mean, if that was if this move was it for now, bulls better pray that this support holds, okay? Because this is not what you want to see. This is not what you want to see. Kind of flipped. It flipped and snapped back down fast. When it comes to the moving averages, I'm looking at my other screen and price action is still above, you know, the short-term moving average, which is a good sign. But in general, moving averages are also looking bearish. Like short is below the midterm, midterm is below the long term. It's we'll see how this goes, but this support needs to hold if we want to see, you know, some a bit more rise. This support needs to hold, and this trend line, we need to break back above it. And because if we come back down and then this holds as, like, this acts as resistance, this trend line acts as resistance instead of, you know, from support to resistance, then this ascending triangle we have failed. Okay, simple. Let's just accept it and move on. So we'll see what happens. Oh guys, I sound like, I don't know what I sound like, but I don't sound like myself. But are you entertained? Like, is it entertaining? Good. Just damn winter. Just a sec, guys. If it wasn't for the weekly candle close, I would have probably, like, been sleeping now. But since it's the weekly candle close, I was like, come on, Dana, you can do this. So here I am, suffering, but it's okay. So that's Bitcoin in general, okay? We got support. Look to your left, look to your right. We got support around 16.9 to 16.7-ish areas, but if that breaks, guys, yeah, good luck. And resistance is pretty much, well, it's not the same anymore, because now there is first resistance around 17,264, and then of course let's not forget this resistance also around 17,380 levels. Mago, welcome to the show. Now you're not late. I hope you've had a good weekend. I just went live, I think 20 minutes ago or something, or 15 minutes ago, so you're definitely not late. Welcome to the show. I'm kind of just going through what Bitcoin has been doing, so you haven't missed much. Nice to hear, Mago. Nice to hear. Glad you're here. And looking at the hourly, like sell pressure is on. Like looking at the hourly, we got volume rising when it comes to sell pressure. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. I do not think this is the end of it. Let's give it 24 hours to 48 hours, because I can imagine some people are like a bit worried because we see confusion after a bit of a rise. But then again, I did a short on Bitcoin. I'm on 33%. Of course, paper trading. That's good, Mago. That's good. Let me guess, okay? Let me just guess. Is it because of this candle, or am I mistaken? That's awesome. Awesomeness. It's so worth that I went live just to hear that. Actually, that's good. You know, eventually those hypothetical trades, one day they're gonna turn into real trades. So this is just building confidence. I've been charting it for hours. I think you were gonna say charting, right? Yeah, yeah. You see, I kind of, since I'm a fast typer myself, I understand what you mean, so no worries. I imagine it's, I don't know, I could be wrong, but did you short here as well after seeing this? You know, us being rejected at resistance. On top of that, our beautiful shooting star, and before that, we had another pattern here. Like there's so many signs. Of course, I'm talking about the 4 hourly, but yeah. Like this parallel channel was holding to the dot until it broke. Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of resistance going up for a while. Yep, a lot of resistance. Like, even though this is a beautiful ascending triangle, a really nice one, I did say in the short video, like, very possible that we could come back to touch these levels and even maybe see some type of like, you know, to this support area. Problem is, it would be a problem. I'm still saying it would be a problem if this is not a wick, but a full heavy bearish candle. And then we come back to this, you know, because this was, even though it's a triangle, just, you know, forget about these two lines and just focus on this. This is a support line, right? If this comes down, especially on the daily, okay, 4 hourly, fine, but on the daily, if this comes all the way down and then this kind of acts as resistance, like it's not gonna look good. 4 hourly, of course, is gonna tell you a bit faster, but if this turns out to be a full body, full bearish body, after this, you know, line right here, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Because, look, MACD is still bullish here, okay? We still have positive momentum on the histogram. that is on the daily, but I do not like how far are we looking. Then again, if because look at this, if we can just come back a bit lower on the RSI, okay, but not break 38.45, not break 38.45. As this goes a bit lower, we could be building some type of nice divergence. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. In the future, yeah, I need a lot of consulting with you about short time frames. I'm having a hard time getting good results. I'm always getting good results on higher time frames, like 15 minutes. That will be yeah, of course. I can we can discuss it more on Discord, and I can definitely like consult you, like educational wise, of course, not financial advice, but we can organize that, Mago. But when you say shorter time frames, are you talking like about the 1 minute, 5 minute? Is that it? Because 15 minute is also a short time frame, you know. But do you mean 1 minute, 5 minutes, these levels? Sometimes it's also easier, you know, trading the 15 minute more than the 1 minute, and so on and so forth, because you don't stress as much. But it's definitely possible to trade the 1 minute and the 5 minute as well. Like, yes, I've been getting slaughtered on the lower time frames. Yeah, that is something that we can definitely work on together. Then it would be like we've had some live paper trades on the show when you've asked me these type of questions, and you saw that it's possible. It's possible to trade these levels. There's a lot of things you have to have an eye on. Like you can't be as relaxed as you are when trading the maybe 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart. But yeah, we can definitely in the future we can get into it. Like since you have the will and I have the will to teach as well, it's gonna be a good combination. So it's gonna be interesting to see Mago. Like, yeah, I like to see people advance in life, and you're definitely one of those doing it. So we can organize it. Just a little example before I get into Ethereum and so on. From Mago, you see, for example, let's say trying to think, because I could wait for a new candle to come, but let's do this instead. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a bit example, and for anybody else, you know, watching the stream or replaying it, this is good education wise, so focus. Okay, so for example, we'll go, let's say, example, hypothetical trades, of course. You want to take a short. Let's say you want to take a short because you see that market is going down. Okay, so if I'd take a short, for example, now let's say short position right here, remove magnet. Okay, let's say you take a short at these levels right here, okay, around 17,015. It goes all the way down. Maybe your profit is around these levels. I'm trying to be realistic, like, or maybe you even, nailed it. It went all the way down, but let's say it was around these levels, okay? There is like one or two things you have to keep in mind. For example, you take profit, let's say you take profit here, you see the market, bounce back up, like you have a beautiful hammer here, it bounces back up, and you want to take another short, okay? You want to take another short because you feel like, in general, looking at the hourly, for example, market is looking bearish, right? So we are in a bearish trend. Looking at the 10 minute, and I'm looking also bearish, so we're still in a bearish trend, okay? You look for signs. You want to look for signs that tell you, okay, well, we are being rejected again around resistance levels. And you look at, for example, we have, let me remove this one, this, or not remove it, I think let's do this. So this happens, look, right here, we'll go right here. Is around resistance levels, okay? Let me turn that into blue, so first blue color. So right here around these levels, we have resistance, okay? We have a bearish engulfing candle. That was where we had some type of support last time, before it broke it. See, left, you look left, we had some type of support here, okay? And on top of that, you see, you remember this candle? You remember it? I told you about this one with a little joke. I'll give you a minute to let me know, because this is the way, people also remember things when we ask each other questions. Do you remember what kind of candle this was, Margot? Right, this one, Margot. I know it's not a shooting star. Is that a hammer? Okay, no. You see, this one hammer, okay? Just a fast recap. This one hammer. But this one, let me zoom in. When you see this type of candle, Margot, remember, it's a candle telling you the bulls died defending their territory. Does it ring a bell when I told you about this joke? What the Japanese say? It's the gravestone doji, okay? It's where the bulls died defending. It's the gravestones of the bulls that have died defending their territory, okay? That's what the Japanese say. So bulls died at resistance areas, and then what happened? We get a push back down, okay? On top of that, MACD was still bearish. Okay, we still had negative momentum, even though it's 1 minute. You can see all that, you know. Also, you have, if you have a look at that as well, it's not a bad thing. Then we also had, let's see now, we also had no signs of divergence, like, you know, that would benefit the bulls. You understand? See? So a lot of things telling you at you know, at the same time, like, okay, we are at resistance areas, like old support, new resistance. Look here, I can just stretch this out. You see how it like goes hand in hand? Again, this area kind of acts as resistance, you see? What is wrong with the colors? Is it me? You get it? Just a fast recap, you know, on how we can, you know, play it. So if you wonder, oh, how do we know we are at resistance areas? Well, you look left, we had some type of support, turns into new resistance. The way you do that are real time. I really haven't seen anybody else do that way. Yes, after the fact, but not real time. Thank you, Mago. Thank you. Like, yeah, I can't say I've seen people do it in real time either. Or let me think. Maybe I've seen one or two, but they were using the Elliott wave, and well, anybody can, you know, draw the Elliott wave. So I have a different trading style. I don't think it like I saw them lose a lot of money. I saw them also make a lot of money. It was both, you know, because they had both types of results with the Elliott wave. But I have my own style, and I show it live. Since you have good questions, it's also good for other people who are replaying the show. I show it live because people can see that TA is actually not crap, that it actually works if you apply it the right way. It's really worth it. It's really worth investing and investing in educating yourself, because a lot of people, you know, think that we just go live just to, you know, talk nonsense. But when I show it, maybe people uh, get the urge to study as well. Now, you, Mago, I know that you already know because we've done live analysis many times on shorter time frames. So that also pushes you, motivates you, you know, to learn, to learn, because you see that it's not. I mean, it's the real deal. So it's like it's a challenge. It's not easy, but it's possible to trade. Like it took me many years to have this information, but it's like you see with your own eyes. It's very possible to do. I mean, as you see with your own eyes, it's very possible to trade. And we have support around these levels right now. So you saw how I came up with the resistance area, and then you see how, you know, support around these levels as well. Like if I was to go short, long, I would have had some type of long, around these levels, and you have to be flexible. That's why I always keep on saying be flexible. Like, you can't have it just to the dot, like of the price you're looking at. It's always good, to have flexibility. That's why the boxes are a bit, wider, and not just sometimes are very precise and I just have a line, but you get the point, right? And then if this support would break, then I know then that for example, if I'd go long at these levels, okay, and I didn't take target and market, snaps back down, I definitely have a stop loss around these levels, definitely, like at the bottom of the box at least. Yeah, I see show that not just once but a couple of times. I see you do that. Thank you, Mago. Yeah, I like it's you're paying attention as well. That's also why you can see it. So it's possible, but I definitely can consult you about this in the future. Like we can go through it. That's why I was wondering if I should have some consulting hourly or 2 hourly, depending on what the person needs, because then I can just focus, for example, in you, and I can focus on you and what your needs are, what you want to advance in, and we can just focus on that. That's why I was talking about maybe having an option for a one-on-one on Patreon as well, in case maybe half an hour is enough also, or an hour, but in case people wanna be better at a specific thing or learn about a specific thing. Work something out and you can see how I'm charting, and maybe you could give me some adjustments, something like that. Yeah, something like that, Mago. Something like that. Sounds good, Mago. Ralph, welcome to the show. Hope you've had a good one. Welcome back. So you see, Mago, right now, just fast. People who are watching the show, you might think this is boring, but if you think this is boring, you're missing the point with the channel purpose, the purpose of the channel, okay? Like, we're here to learn and advance and be better traders by learning, okay? By taking in education, like just suck it in like a sponge, okay? And if you think it's boring, well, go ahead and watch other channels. Like, it's okay, no worries. But you see, Mago, we had some type of I was talking about being flexible. I would see this as a support area. You see how we have these pullbacks and these levels as well. So everything really goes hand in hand. Like, even though it's 1 minute, even though it's 10 minutes, like 1 hour, whatever, it's all possible to trade. But two important things: stop losses and reading the Western indicators, as in the like RSI, just the oscillators in general, okay? And moving averages, you can't really do much with it right now on the 1 minute, but the other Western indicators, maybe you have a Bollinger Band on as well. That would also be, helpful. I don't know about, like, I always tell you guys, I do not use the fib that much, okay? Let's say I use the fib now, and I do, let's see now, hold on. look, like if I was using the fib, I would have definitely not gone out at these levels, okay? I would have waited till it reaches these levels. Then I wouldn't be playing it in a shorter time frame. I just, I'd probably go long here and then I'd wait till it comes back up. But this is the thing, guys. What if it doesn't, okay? What if it doesn't? Like, for me, unless it actually breaks R1, resistance 1, and then let me do this again. Hold on. Let me bring out the fib again. R1 around these levels, okay? R2 around looking at the Western indicators as well. Yeah, R2 around these levels, okay? 17,033-ish and something like that. Then I wouldn't even, like, the golden fib that I see here for me is like R3, okay? But there are people that definitely cannot chart without using the fib at all. So it's everybody's different. Correct stop losses is one of the most important things. Exactly. Do not do what Caroline Ellison did. Like, she wrecked the whole world up. I was watching another YouTuber, not mentioning names, once again, stop losses, and I was destroying many people account because of that. Ooh. Yeah, like we're not bashing, we're kind, we don't bash people and so on, but it's what you're saying is the truth. There are people out there that, unfortunately, I don't think they do it in purpose to wreck people, but maybe they don't have enough, uh, enough, well, experience or I don't know, education. I don't know, one of them, okay? Because if you have like if you have a good teacher, let's say you have a good teacher, but you don't go home and do your homework, you don't go home and repeat the things you learned and so on and so forth, it's really not gonna work out for you. So maybe they are, they are good to a certain level, but then they forget these kind of things you see about stop losses and so on. Maybe they are good in one way, but then they don't have experience. It depends, like it depends, but I completely understand what you mean. Um, that's why I'm like a broken record. I always tell people stop losses over and over again, because I was the liquidity exit for others at a certain point of time, and with a lot of experience, a lot of um, hurt, and a lot of this and that, because I really didn't have anybody to look up to. It took me more than, I don't know, maybe 5,000 hours of videos to shape up things. Maybe if like a good amount of time to have the experience as well, and know wrong from right and right from wrong. So it kind of helps. There's no person, if you ever hear anybody that starts in the market and tells you that they've never ever lost like money, or I mean on a trade, or ever lost in a trade, uh be careful. Just be careful. I'm just saying, be careful, because they if you don't get hurt, no pain no gain. When it comes to trading, I can actually say that is true. No pain, no gain. There is no way that you are gonna be able to uh, keep on winning and have the same type of experience than another person who has lost and won. okay? Because you get to see the sides, like you get to see both sides, and that's very important. Like that experience, like it's priceless. So you see, Mago, the short discussion we had about how I would see things. You see, so far it's playing out, yeah? And MACD is bullish now, positive momentum. On the histogram, RSI is rising. Like all this, put all this into mind. We have some new like resistance levels around 16987, but this is all this is 1 minute chart I'm talking about, okay? All this is 1 minute chart I'm talking about. Like things change fast when it comes to support and resistance when you're looking at the 1 minute chart. It's not like the 4 hour or 15 minutes or something like that. It changes fast. Let me just remove all this. Okay, next, Ethereum, friends. So Ethereum, in some miraculous way, it's still within this parallel channel, like still, okay? We are still above the critical levels of 1,300, sorry, 1,240-ish. We still haven't broken below it. Nice. But like I always say, let's give it 24 to 48 hours before we make any decisions, you know, conclude things and so on. I do not like the fact that we couldn't close above 1,286, but it's a weekly. We have 7 days to go, guys. Still not over yet, so we'll see how this ends. We need to give it at least 24 hours to 48 hours and see how the daily candle develops, okay? And from there we'll take it. Let's see now on the daily. Look, guys, we still being rejected at resistance, okay? Number one. Number two, we are losing strength in the positive momentum, and it looks like the MACD line is trying to, I mean, it's facing downwards. It's trying to curl down, and if it does, then we're gonna have a bearish MACD. Our side is still hanging around neutral territories, okay? But I don't like this formation now. Okay, the important thing is this support to hold 1,236 to 1,216, you know, $20. If that can hold, fine, good. If it doesn't, by the looks of this, which tells me we could go back down a little bit more. If we lose this support, guys, there is nothing holding us until, unfortunately, yes, there's not much holding us until these levels again, okay? 1,169 to 1,140-ish dollars, like very possible. That is if this, like, look left, old, you know, resistance, new support, okay? That is if this doesn't hold. Looking at the 4 hourly, Yep, MACD looking bearish. Like, same thing what I said about Bitcoin when it comes to like the RSI. Like, let's say Ethereum goes down a bit more lower, okay? But RSI doesn't get below 36.53, I think it was, something like that, okay? But this goes a bit lower and it goes a bit lower here too, but it doesn't. Then we might, you know, develop some type of nice divergence. But look at this, guys. Look at the rejection we had at these levels, okay? Like, yeah, nice. It would have been a nice opportunity to go, you know, short at these levels. Now we do have support on the 4-hourly. We do have support around, you know, old support. You look at it, old support. We do have support around 1,250-ish. We lose that one, lower we go. Okay, but there is some type of support right now on the 4-hourly chart. Interesting. So we'll see how it goes. When it comes to resistance, friends, see this red line right here? I could just extend it, but I'll just extend it for now. And voila, you see how it's still acting as resistance still, okay? But major resistance we need to break above is still around the 1,336. If we do that next, we have next resistance still around, you know, 1,365 to 1,380-ish. Like, we can even push to $1,400, but around these levels, okay? But by the looks of things, wouldn't be surprised if we come back a bit lower. Like, daily is not looking the strongest right now, okay? For only, yeah, we have a bit of a support around these levels, but we'll see. Let me just draw a line. Hold support, guys, okay? So we'll see. That's Ethereum. What else? What's going on with Quant? Like, I haven't had an eye on it for a while now. Same crap with ADA. Ralph, not much has changed. I don't know if you saw it last time, but not much has changed at all. We're still, you know, in demand zones. We touched, what is it, resistance line or profit taking levels the other day, or the other day, a few days ago. So that got respected, and now back to resistance. I mean, support levels, looks like it. In short, because yeah, not much is going on with ADA. But the fact that it came to, you know, profit taking levels, the levels we spoke about, that's good enough for ADA, Cardano. So Quant, by the looks of it, guys, Looks like it wants to go down a bit more further down. Let's have a look at the weekly. Yeah, so prior weekly candle closed strong, favoring the bears. I'd say let's give it to like 24 to 48 hours, but at the same time, this one is kind of clear, right? Strong bearish candle. I wanted to say engulfing, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to choose such a strong word. Let's still give it 24 to 48 hours. We are still above this critical level right here. Yeah. If we break anywhere below this level, let's just say, for example, better to have a look at it on the daily. $100, okay. Then 94 to these levels, very much possible, okay. We have some nice divergence in development, but keep in mind, even if we come lower, it doesn't mean it's gonna stop developing, okay? Only way it's gonna be invalid is if we break below this level right here, okay? But it's just like the divergence is only on one of the oscillators, so we will see when it comes to this level. But then again, on the RSI, we definitely have some nice, divergence going on, which I think is in play right now, because look at this, and then we had a bit of a pull. We came to 130. What is this highest area? 124, 133. I have this resistance line around 136. So we came, well, I have another one here too, but we came to some, the resistance level or profit taking level as well, almost like. But still, if we want to see some continuation at least to these levels, we need to break above 129 on the weekly, okay? On the daily, that would be around 100, and let's, like, this one should be a bit higher, huh? We need to get above, let's see, 131, well, nah, $136 still, guys, I'm stuck there. If we can't get above this one, you won't be able to see this one. Simple as that. MACD is turning bearish. That's not nice for quant. Moving average trying to curl below the midterm. That's not nice either. Like, I'm looking at my other screen, and moving averages are pretty much looking bearish in general, guys. Like, if we go to $108, I wouldn't be that shocked right now. Yeah, quant. Cardano is like, it's alive, but it's dead. It's dead, but it's alive. It's You guys know what I mean, right? If you missed getting out, you know, at profit-taking levels or resistance levels, uh, just enjoy the ride, I guess, you know. In general, when it comes to Cardano, just keep this in mind, guys. We are still in some type of a demand zone. Like, I'm trying to do the best out of the chart because I don't think people I don't think TA people would like doing analysis on this, because look at this. Since the 20th of sorry, not 20, since the 10th of November, okay, 9th end of November, it just went down. And now since, what is it, since 23rd of November, like it's literally just been going, sideways. That's it. Not much going on. Okay, and next. This one was interesting, guys. I don't know how many of you saw the short video that I made on Meta X Connect, the name of the coin, MXC. I know, it's maybe some of you watching this one is like, another S coin and it's new and whatnot. It's existed since 2021, so it's pretty much new. But support held, still not above resistance areas. That happens. Can come all the way to these levels, but yeah, like so far they've been respected, like was respected to the dot. But let's say example, I did a fib instead. Okay, golden fib around these levels, but yeah, what I saw was not because of the fib, so it was a bit more, but that's why you should be flexible, you see. Let's say you use the fib, then you can just do something like this, I don't know, something like this, then you're still getting in at support levels in one way or the other, you see. MXC, when I saw the name of the coin, Meta X Connect, I don't know why it gave me that BitConnect vibes, but who knows. Okay, next. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at BNB and Dogecoin. But first, I'm about to bring myself a hot cup of tea again. Okay, guys, so give me 2-3 minutes. I'll keep the Bitcoin chart on as usual, which is breaking right in front of our eyes, just going a bit lower. Okay, now we will see if the support holds. Let me put on the 10-minute chart, more interesting. I think TradingView, there's something wrong with TradingView, like the colors have completely changed. What's up? Much better. Okay, chat. We'll be back in to enjoy the tunes and the chart. Sounds good, Nago. Great. Then then get your dinner as well. So yeah, so we can all sit down, and one drinking tea, the other one eating dinner, and bon appetit. Okay, see you in 2-3 minutes then. back, guys. I'll go. Hope you're back too. And bon appetit. Okay, let's go ahead with the rest of the market. Thank you, Ralph. I hope you stretched your legs a little bit as well. So, next, BNB. So BNB is back to, well, support levels again, okay, after we hit resistance. So profit taking levels got respected. Now I was talking about, this $310 area, like the bottom of this box being very, very important. Like if we can't break out of this box, like I told you guys last time, then it would be difficult to see levels of, 359, 369 areas, okay? Maybe a bit higher with a wick too. But let's have a look at the weekly. Start with the weekly. So MACD still looking bullish, still positive momentum on histogram as well. RSI is close to neutral levels. I can't say that the Eastern indicators are looking that bad. I know, had the red candles before that, but it's not looking that horrible, guys. But that doesn't mean we can't come all the way down to, you see this blue line, $275 areas, okay? That's very possible. If we break that though, let's get into the daily. If we break that though, I should do this. Remember what I always tell you guys, be flexible. So let's say somewhere around these levels, okay? 274 to 267-ish dollars. If that support doesn't hold, guys, there is nothing holding us until this support again. Okay, it means if this break the bottom of this box, we close any daily below it, we close any 4-hourly below it. Should this goes to the blue box? Any 4-hourly candle below it. There is not much holding us until these levels, guys, when it comes to BNB. And when I say these levels, just have a look to your right. You'll see $257 to $254. That's what's going on with the BNB right now. Looks like we have some new resistance areas, okay, around these levels. I can just draw a box. Here we go. So it means if this support holds, okay, we can come back and retest these levels with this. And if we break out of R1, resistance 1, that is, next resistance would be around these levels, guys, okay? Around $300-ish levels again. When it comes to the Western indicators on the daily, we got some negative momentum going on the histogram. MACD is bearish. Our size is a bit below neutral, okay? Moving average is not looking the best right now. I'm looking at my other screen as well. We got the short term below the midterm, but the short and midterm below the above the long term. Okay, so if we want to see some type of bullishness, we need the short term to get above the midterm as well, which could happen, but we have to see some more, daily closes before I can confirm that and let you guys know. Until then, on the 4-hourly, resistance, first resistance right here. Next, so first resistance, second resistance, like I said, around these levels, okay, $295 to $298, somewhere around these levels, and the third one would be around these levels. Okay, that's BNB. When it comes to support, you already know. If this doesn't hold, I should probably draw it back down a little bit. Because things change, we see some new developments, so I have to do this. So $285 to $281. We lose $281. We close any 4-hourly candle below $281 to eventually around, somewhere around 274 to 266. Okay, around these levels. So that's BNB so far. Like, wait, what is this? Why is it out here? There's definitely something going on with the trading view. Hold on. Here you go. So far, BNB, like the rest, most of the markets we've been having a look at, everything has been respected. TA has been respected, like resistance levels have been respected, support areas have been respected. So we can't complain, or I can't complain. So all is good. Let's have a look at the next one. Like it would be, for example, Bitcoins. If it doesn't get respected, if TA is not respected, like this ascending triangle doesn't play out, we are already out of the triangle right now, but you've guys seen it before on this channel. Sometimes we break out of the triangles that we see. It doesn't have to be necessarily an ascending triangle, but then we get back in within it. Okay, I think it has happened. Let me see now. Unfortunately, I removed the old triangle. I think I've removed it. Yep. But okay. Anyways, if we get back above it, it's the. I mean, if we get back, above this resistance line, and I'm calling it resistance now because we broke out of it. It's not support anymore. We're fine. If not, it failed. Sending triangles failed. Okay. And there is another thing. It's good that I went to this chart. There is something else I'd like to bring up with you guys, which is very, very, very important. And I do not think a lot of people are focusing on this one. luckily, we're gonna take it up the chart now. I mean, in this channel. I mean, in this stream. Guys, excuse me. I got like fever and shit again. So, anyways, there is this beautiful, beautiful descending wedge on Bitcoin, like a huge one. Does this remind you of something else, guys? One of the OG coins, one of the OG cryptos that respected, and then when it broke out, it had a nice rise. Does it remind you of something else? Before I continue and talk about it, just if especially Mago and Ralph, since you've been watching the stream like almost daily, I'm betting you know the answer to this one. Does this descending wedge remind you of anything else that we had a look at, and then when it broke out, it actually had a nice rise? I've also spoken about it. A hint. This is a hint, okay? I've also spoken about it at Discord. Like I told you guys very fast. XZN. What is that, Ralph? Ralph? I don't think it's XCN. I don't think I do not recall. I do not recall I've spoken about a coin called XCN. Oh, you mean Zen? You mean Zen? Do you mean Zen, Ralph? XEN? But even if you mean XEN, it's still not Zen. It's definitely not Zen. There is like Zen is a new market, so we can't even draw a descending wedge on it. Something else though that I spoke about in Discord that many people are hoping that it will go to the places where I spoke about it when it was in a certain price level at Discord. Come on, come on. It's 0240 here. When it's 0241, I'm just gonna let you know. Until then, I'm gonna give you a whole minute so you guys can try to refresh your memories. Because this descending wedge should remind you of another descending wedge that got respected, and when we broke out, we had a nice jump. No, Ralph, no, no, not Quant. Mago, no, not a bullfag. Okay, okay, here we go. I'm gonna go to the chart to show you what I'm talking about. Imprint this in your brains, okay? Imprinted in your brains. Let's go. Where is it? Where is it? There you go. Huh? It's a descending wedge on Bitcoin right now on the weekly, just like the one we saw on Litecoin. And what happened with Litecoin? Now keep in mind, it doesn't mean it's gonna be 100% respected, but what we're doing is we're looking at everything that's going on, right? Hence, it's important also to point that out, that there is a descending wedge on Bitcoin chart. What happened with Bitcoin, what happened with Litecoin when we saw this, when we broke out of it, we had a nice, pull up. it doesn't mean, I repeat, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen 100% sure on Bitcoin. But since we look at the Western indicators as much as we look at the Eastern indicators, we have to, like, I have to point it out, okay? I have to point it out. Since the stream is about TA, I have to point it out. After we broke out from this descending wedge, let me just draw or change color to white. When we broke out, we had some resistance ahead of us, fine, but then since then, we're still, consolidating on, like, outside of the descending wedge. So now back to Bitcoin. We kind of see we are very, like, close on the weekly. We are very, like, we are at the resistance line, literally at it, okay? But this is what can also happen that you guys have to keep in mind. There's either a breakout coming, or we just get rejected and come back a bit lower, okay? So that's why I'm saying it doesn't mean it's gonna be respected 100% right away. Like, this can very well happen as well, something like this. We're here right now, we come back down, and then we maybe break out, okay? Or we're here right now, we come back down to these levels, okay? Try to retest it again to break out, doesn't work. Then further down again, okay? Like, that's also possible. What's going to be exciting is the moment we break out of this line, the resistance line, because this resistance line have been respected since when now? Let me just check the date. Since November 2021. Okay? A bit over a year ago. Since then, it's been acting. Look, we have a touch here, second one, third one. So it's definitely valid. It's definitely valid. Now we just gotta see if it can break out of this, because descending wedges, guys, they favor the bulls, if anything, if they are respected, okay? If they are respected. Like, you can call it, like, you can either call it a descending wedge, you can either call it a falling wedge, okay? But it's a bullish pattern, and bullish is a bit of a strong word. It's a bit of a strong word, but it favors the bulls. It's better that I put it that way, okay? Because if I say it's a bullish pattern, people might think, okay, well, it's time to buy and so on. That's why I was very precise with, well, saying it doesn't mean it's gonna be 100%, respected. It's interesting though to see, because that's what we saw happen with Litecoin, and then you know what happened with Litecoin, right? I almost forget about speaking about this one. This was important to bring up, because I have different Bitcoin charts. So sometimes, this is the one I use mostly on the stream, but it's good that I pointed this out for you guys as well before it happens, because if it happens, then it's a bit too late, right? Okay, so next, Dogecoin. So prior weekly candle, looks like it was favoring, the bears, if anything. MACD still looking bullish. Still got positive momentum. Still got some bad divergence, going on Dogecoin. It's only gonna be invalid if we can break above or close a weekly above 0.15 at least, okay? Until then, there's still, some bad divergence developing on both the oscillators. Let's have a look at the daily. Look, guys, I did talk about this, I think, in the last streams, whenever we had a look at Dogecoin. There is no way we're gonna be able to see levels of 0.13-ish or 0.12-ish if we can't break above at least 0.108 to 0.116, I think it was 0.11116 or 0.113-ish, okay, just if you want to be a bit more conservative. If that happens, next resistance is around these levels, and right now we are at support. We have some new resistance around, well, it's the same, but we are at support, guys. The new resistance is around, say now, 0.096-ish to 0.099-ish levels. Okay, we break above that one on a daily. I think even for hourly, right? Yeah, even for hourly level time frame. Eventually, we are gonna come back and retest these levels again. Okay, but let's have a look at the rest. So on the daily, MACD bearish, negative momentum, just began, I think, a few days ago. Yeah, like 3 days ago. Our site is around neutral territories, but below neutral, but around neutral territories. Looking at the 4-hourly, have a look now. Everything looking bullish. Everything looking bearish. Active bearish, negative momentum. RSI bearish as well. Strong, like bears are in control. Simple, okay? Bears are in control. Looking at the 4-hourly chart. We are at support though. Keep that in mind. We are at support. On top of that, not only that are we in support, but this long-term moving average right here, if you guys noticed, like the past times, it's also acted as support right here, right here. We will see if it acts as support again, but right now I don't see any reversal indications yet. Could be around the corner since we are at support, but then again, if we break this red line right here, 0.09, any 4-hourly candle that closes below this level right here, next support would be the bottom of this box around 0.0873, okay? And if that breaks, any 4-hourly candle that breaks below this one, not much holding us until these levels, guys. That would be between 0.082-ish to 0.077-ish, 76-ish levels, okay? Like we have volume building with the, sell pressure building on the volume with the bearish engulfing candle. So bears definitely in control right now. The weekly bearish candle, prior weekly bearish engulfing candle is not the best sign for the bulls. Should not be ready to buy when it breaks out of that descending wedge. Well, if you see, like, let's say what happened with Litecoin is the perfect example for this. Let me go back to Litecoin. By the way, guys, that was it for Dogecoin, the resistance levels and, the support areas, okay? So for example, Litecoin, after we broke out of the wedge, we never got any pullback where we saw the resistance, the resistance line starting to act as support. And by saying that, I mean, for example, we were here, right? We came all the way here. If it came back down here, and then bounces off it, that would be one of the best confirmations, okay? Best confirmations to get in, in my opinion, okay? Let's zoom in and see if there's anything. Like, it just flew on Litecoin. It just, flew away the moment we broke out of it, and then since then we've been holding this support level. So two options, either you buy on breakout, one, or if you want to be a bit more conservative, a bit more sure, then you wait for some type of confirmation. But then again, there are times like what happened with Litecoin. Maybe let's say, for example, maybe a lot of people were watching this falling wedge, okay? A lot of people were noticing it, and the moment it broke out, it just ran. It just kept on rising, okay? Then again, I did talk about, if this resistance breaks, if this support breaks, sorry, it's very possible that we can come back to these levels again, okay? But this wedge is drawn on the weekly, guys. I don't want you to be confused. It's drawn on the weekly. So it takes time till we see, maybe a pullback. Who knows? But you have two options. Either way, the best thing to do, go, is have stop losses ready, because let's say it breaks out. It breaks out, but then there is no follow through. Okay? It just breaks out and then it curls back down and gets, inside the wedge again. Then it's good to have, some type of stop loss just to be on the safer side. But yeah, breakouts are nice areas to get in, one. And if you want to be a bit more conservative, not that it always happens, it's good, to see the resistance line act as being tested as support, okay? Being tested as support, and then it gets, a push from that, because if it starts acting as support, it's a wonderful area to get in at again, okay? Because look at Litecoin right now. This action right here, when it comes to the Eastern, I'm not liking it a lot, okay? It doesn't mean it's over, it's done, we're not gonna see it, rise a bit higher. But at the same time, it also means that it could, come back down. It's not out of the question. So I wouldn't be surprised if it starts, curling a bit lower after this. The only way, for example, let's say I decide to go short right here, okay? I decide to go short right here. I have my targets here. Here. And I'd have a stop loss around these levels right here, okay? So, and that's because I see, some bad divergence going on, even though MACD is bullish and so on. RSI is above neutral, okay, fine. But then I see other developments, on the Eastern. telling me to be a bit cautious, So I definitely have a stop loss right here around these levels because I'd rather get stopped out at these levels if I'm, if my idea were, well, if I want to short instead, if I'm in a short, I'd rather be stopped out at these levels if it starts curling back up again, and if it breaks any weekly close, like a candle closes above this level right here, then I know for a fact that we're gonna go a bit higher. Simple. Stop losses are magic. They are super underrated, even though when people talk about them, they sound like they're overrated, but they are super underrated. It's good to have a close eye on Bitcoin when it's doing this kind of thing, but keep in mind, it's the weekly. This can take a while till it develops. A while, okay? Since it's the weekly time frame we're talking about. Even even if it's on the daily, excuse me, even if it's on the daily, still could take a while. Let me remove all the indicators. Still could take a while because you see here, like it's crossing the bodies and so on. So you can see, obviously, I didn't draw this on the daily, okay? It's drawn on the weekly. You see no lines cutting through the bodies and so on. So it's drawn on the weekly. So this is gonna take time to develop. That's why I'm saying, like, let's see how this ends. But it's good. It's good to know about, this falling wedge being like that it exists on the Bitcoin chart. Okay. So you're saying a stop loss could also be an indicator that it is going to a certain direction. Not the stop loss per se, but if it breaks out of resistance. You see? If it breaks out of resistance, let me go back to the stop loss is there to help you manage your money better, like to help you to have some type of risk management, okay? But what I meant with what I said is if it breaks above resistance, okay? For example, I talked about, having some stop loss right here, right? This is resistance areas, okay, that I'm talking about. If you wonder why, look left. Sometimes it's a bit, the more you're used to the chart, the more you'll be able to see it. You look left, and this is where we got rejected last time. You see? It's very funny. It's happening again, right? This is where we had some type of support last time as well, if you look left, but special rejection. If I just do this, horizontal ray, okay. So you see this line, you see how we've been rejected here at these levels before, ago, and then it happened again, right? Fast forward to now. Look what's going on again. So when I say if it breaks above this, why I would have my stop loss around these levels, if it would break above this, it's not the stop loss per se that's the indicator, but the indicator is the fact that we broke out of major key levels that has been acting as resistance on a weekly note. Okay, so if I would see it break above this level and weekly closes, you know, somewhere around, let's say $87. Okay, the next resistance we got is around 94. Okay, on the weekly. Next after that is around 130. No problem, Ago. No problem. It's good questions. It's good questions. So the stop loss is just, you know, a way for you to manage your risk a bit better, manage your money a bit better. So instead of, you know, for example, if you were in a short and then things, you know, turn the other way around, then you're ready. You're ready to make another type of move instead of, you know, losing money on it. I can remove this one now. Go. Okay, next. XRP. Guys, I'm hearing a lot of like negative news when it comes to XRP. Like it feels like, you know, well, I don't know, but when you hear so much, you know, FUD around XRP the way you're hearing right now, some people might call this a sign for, you know, the bottom being in for XRP at least. Me, I'd rather just stick to TA and see what TA is saying. But XRP, let's have a look at it. So the bad divergence that we've been talking about since God knows when now, a few months, okay, it's still developing, it's still there, not much has changed, okay? Weekly candle of showing bears still pretty much in control, like more or less. They don't look that strong, but they are in control, definitely. But it change, okay? Let's have a look at the daily because we still have to give it 24 hours to 48 hours, so it's better to have a look at the daily. We'll get more information there. So also some bad divergence developing on the daily, and if MACD is like looks like it hasn't happened yet, it hasn't crossed yet, but if it crosses, there you go. It's gonna be a bearish MACD there, okay? RSI is below neutral. Looking at my other screen, moving averages, this is not good. Not looking good, guys. The short-term moving average is trying to curl below the long-term moving average, okay? That's not a good sign on the daily XRP. On these moving averages, you already see the short-term is like just starting to curl below the midterm. Not a good thing you want to see. Sure, support areas have held so far, so good. But if we break the level of, let's say, 0.371-ish to 0.36-ish areas, not much holding us until this level right here. Like, I can just throw it up a little bit. Hold up. Somewhere around these levels, okay? Let me remove this one. Not remove it, hide it. So in case I want to bring it out for educational reasons next time. So there's not much holding us. Like if we lose this one, it's straight down to these levels, guys, between 0.35 to 0.339, 0.3, 4-ish levels. And if 0.34 doesn't hold on a daily, see eventually around 0.31 to 0.28-ish. Not much holding us at all, like at all, okay? It's looking unfortunately weak. We are at support right now. We might have a bit of a pullback, but even if we do, like we got resistance already around 0.3, 0.39-ish to 0.396, and after that R2 would be around 0.41-ish levels. Like there's a lot of resistance when it comes to XRP, but we are at support now, so we might see a bit of a push to the upside, but yeah, it's not looking good. Bad divergence. MACD getting weaker and weaker, losing, the strength and the positive momentum. Like many Western indicators are saying, it's not looking good. Okay, so keep that in mind. Have your stop losses out there ready, like because imagine we are at support and so on. It would be tempting, to go in, but tight stop loss would be a good idea when it comes to XRP. Okay, next. Now there's a coin I haven't had a look at in a while, guys. So weekly, pretty much still bears in control. Atom, Cosmos, like it was looking good a few months ago, but then, yep, like many other coins, this one also started looking horrible. Weekly is prior weekly candle closed as a bearish, candle, you guys can see. MACD is trying to hold, it's trying to hold like on the positive side, but we are losing strength in the histogram. Positive strength is getting weaker, and we have some bad divergence going on one of the oscillators as well. RSI is below neutral, right? All that more, bearish factors on the weekly at least, okay? But then again, when it comes to the Eastern, I'd rather give it, even to on the Western, the oscillators, I'd rather give it 24 hours to 48 hours, like everything else. It's important to see the weekly candle close, but at the same time, so you get a hint of what could happen, but it's important to give it some time to mature. Okay, let's see now. On the daily, we still have some positive momentum going on. On the histogram, MACD is still looking bullish, but it could snap. RSI is still below neutral. Moving averages are pretty much looking bearish, guys. Like pretty much bearish, okay? We do have support around, I should draw a box. It's been a while, I had a look at it, hold on. So we do have support around these levels. That would be between 9.2 to 8.7 areas. Okay, if that breaks, guys, if that breaks, eventually around 7.7-ish to 6.9-ish dollars. Like that is very possible. That is if this doesn't hold, okay? Because we are close to support right now. And when it comes to resistance, you see how we had some type of support here. So resistance, first resistance would be around 9.9-ish dollars. 9 point, let's just say $10, okay? First resistance around $10. Second one would be around this yellow line right here. That would be 10.42, 10.5. 6 areas, okay? If we break above that one, let's just do this. This. So there you go. First, well, second resistance, since the first one was around these levels, $10. Let's just say $10, okay? That would be second resistance around 10.5-ish to 10.9-ish dollars. Let's have a look at, whoa. Look how sellers were waiting at this level. Look at the volume, then look at this, like nothing matches up, right? Okay, 4-hourly chart. There is some nice divergence in development, guys. Keep that in mind. Even though MACD is bearish, just started building negative momentum on the histogram as well. None of that is good. On the 4-hourly, we need to break above 9.8-ish dollars, okay, for us to see around $10. But also on the 4-hourly, pretty much the same. Main resistance would be around these levels. That is on the 4-hourly, okay? 10.4-ish to 10.5-ish. Something like the daily, right? I can just remove the box. So that's Atom. Looks like we are at support, but will support hold? Is the question. We're definitely at support right now. Right here. Like if we close any, guys, if we close any 4-hourly candle, let me have a look at the even hourly, okay? Even hourly candle below this line, it's eventually around these levels. Simple. Keep in mind, we have some nice divergence developing. So we could see a bit more push, but then we got resistance around 9.8-ish dollars to start with, okay? Want to be exact, $9.83, okay? And then 9.83 to $10 actually. And then if we can break above $10, not much holding us until these levels right here between the yellow line and the white line right here, okay? So that's Cosmos Atom. Let me write down the coins because we can do a follow-up next time I'm live too. Hold on, where is the notes? So we had a look at, of course, the king Bitcoin, and then Ethereum, and then BNB, then Dodge, Atom. What else? Feels like I'm forgetting something. Right, XRP, Cardano, LTC as well, right? Well, kinda. We discussed what could happen since we looked at the weekly. LTC. Okay, cool. Next. Quant, right. I was gonna have a look at Quant. I think we had a look at Quant already. Yep, we did. Quant. Okay. Let's do one more. Do you have any suggestion, guys? Throw it at me. Otherwise, otherwise I'm just gonna pick one. Give you a minute or two. Happened with Tesla, by the way. You're stuck on STX, Ralph. STX, same since what I spoke about last time. We hit resistance a few days ago. We wicked a bit above it, but profit taking levels were hit. Our size in bullish territories. MACD is positive. You must love STX, yeah? We are losing volume and so on and so forth. Let me have a look at the weekly. Like, Western indicators are looking fine, okay? Our size below neutral. We held support as well at these levels like weeks ago already. This is the thing, Ralph. Like, this was resistance areas for profit taking levels as well. And if we broke out of this one, we would go all the way to these levels, okay? But I don't like all the wicks I'm seeing. I'm not a fan of the wicks, okay? We do have support around, first of all, let me have a look at the moving averages, which is very important as well. So moving averages, interesting. So the short-term moving average is trying to curl above the midterm, okay? That's on the daily. You can't see it, but I'm having a look at my other screen. So if that happens, I said it's curling, it's like starting to, go towards the midterm, but it's not complete yet. and that's on the daily, but I do not like all those wicks. And on the 4 hourly, moving averages are kind of looking, bullish. On top of that, old resistance acts as new support. So we are kind of seeing, some type of support around these levels. But when it comes to support on the 4 hourly, so you got some type of support around these levels, okay? That is if we break out of this 0. It's the same, Ralph, it's the same, but 0.27 to 0.26, okay? So we got some support around these levels. If that doesn't hold, see eventually around, I don't know, 0.23, 0.24-ish levels. Okay, that would be the second support level. And if that doesn't hold, see eventually around these levels again. But let's see if this candle closes a bit more, stronger on the 4 hourly as well, if it closes as a bullish engulfing candle. But we do have resistance, okay? Just so you are aware, we have resistance around 0.315 levels. If we can't close above 0.315 levels even on an hourly, probably not gonna be seeing this, second resistance again, okay? But if that happens, we close even an hourly above it, see eventually around these levels. No problem, Ralph. You're very welcome. What else? I think we've covered up a few today. I think it's good for today. Chat. Looks like Bitcoin is like only an hour and a half left until this, 4 hourly candle closes. And right now it's not looking juicy. It's not looking good, juicy at all, okay? Like, let's see if this volatility comes in and saves, the day, and this, instead of, a bearish engulfing candle, we actually see some type of wick, and it wicks back up and tries to break above this resistance. Otherwise, it's gonna be horrible. I know I got into the stream late, but did you go over how low Bitcoin may go today or tomorrow? Like, this is very possible. All the way to 16,705. Very possible, by the way things are looking, okay? When it comes to today, pretty much the same. Look, if this support doesn't hold right now where we are, if we break anywhere below $16,900, eventually around 16,750-ish, 16,710-ish, if we're talking about today, okay? That is very possible for Bitcoin right now, by the way things are looking. Like, I'm not liking how it's looking. So yeah, 16.8 to 16,710. Very possible we can go there. And funny how it kind of aligns with the moving averages right here, as you guys can see. What I like is on the 4 hourly, midterm is trying to get above the long term. If that can happen, then we have some type of, you know, bullish action on the moving averages if that happens, okay? Looking at my other screen, it's pretty much looking okay, but at the same time not looking okay because the moving average is trying to curl, like it's declining right now, and if it gets below the midterm, that's not a good sign, okay? That's on the 4 hourly, by the way. But yeah, 16.8 to $16,710 around these levels for today wouldn't be so surprising by the way things are looking right now. But hourly, I like this indecision after this horrible candle. Well, look at this. Look at the RSI. More closer to oversold-ish territories, if anything, on the hourly. And on top of that, there's some nice, divergence going on. So let's see if this support right here holds, okay? 16,900-ish levels. If it breaks even an hourly candle, closes below this one, like I said, see eventually around 16,750, 16,710 areas. But we have some nice divergence on, on the move. Like it's building, it's developing. We just need some, more confirmations when it comes to the Eastern. And we have resistance on the hourly. We have resistance around 17,090-ish, 17,140-ish dollars, okay? So that's Bitcoin. If this support breaks though, Mago, if this support breaks, but we're talking 4 hourly, okay? So could take a while. 4 hourly candle that closes anywhere below this level right here, then we don't have, much holding us until, the levels of around $16,400, okay? I hope that answered your question. Right as we're, I was saying, we are around support. We're seeing those wicks to the upside, you see? You're very welcome. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this develops, how it plays out. Okay, guys, I think I'll call it a night for today. It's 3:31 a.m. where I am. It's been an awesome stream. Always great questions, Mago. Thank you for those. And thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow, a profitable day. Thank you for tuning in, Ralph, as well. And everybody else watching the stream on replay tomorrow. If you like the contents that I bring you, don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notifications bell button because some things we discuss are time sensitive, and if you're not in time, you might lose, a thing or two. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. My pleasure, Magdo. My pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be around like-minded people, who just want to advance. So thank you for tuning in. Okay. Um, Thank you, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow, and thank you for all the love, all the contributions. I appreciate you all a lot. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care of each other.